Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Sheri. Welcome.
Welcome. What do you mean,
Welcome,
welcome? Welcome to
Sheri.
my show. Hey, TerryAnn, welcome.
Oh,
Welcome to my show. What the
that's
heck?
right. We are live.
We are
We are
here
live.
in this together.
We are live. Yes. Today is September the I have to always look over my calendar. Today is September the 8th.
I know.
Today is our 52nd episode. Can
Our one
you
year
believe it?
anniversary.
Can you
Woohoo! Three
believe
to
it?
one. Come on now.
Woohoo!
Woo! What do you
1
got?
year.
Cheers. We have conversation. Yeah,
Year. Look at
cheers.
this.
We did
Who
it.
would have
We did
thought?
it. We did it.
Who would have thought that just with a flick of the wrist, we're at our 1 year. Today
It
makes
took a
1
lot of
year.
magic.
A lot of magic. And a lot of hard work. But we are so excited to be able to celebrate and enjoy this accomplishment. So I guess before we get any further,
ourselves first, TerryAnn.
Before we get any further, let's make an introduction. Welcome. This is Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn. I am TerryAnn Porter, life coach, TA. It is time to defeat those lies of negative self-talk. By changing your perspective, revealing unseen possibilities, pathways will now open onto which you can choose to proceed in truth. My co-host, as always, the amazing Sheri Berger. Princess Sheri.
No, you're Princess Terry. We have our party hats on. Hey, I am Sheri. I am Sheri Berger, and I am the owner of Here to There Consulting. And we educate business owners with those tools to balance life, business, and finances, because we've got to keep all those in order so that you can have growth, success, and leadership and make big accomplishments in your life and your business, because it's all about balance. So anyway, welcome. I'm Sheri Berger. So good to see you. Yes, we've made a big accomplishment. We have our party hats on. Oh, wait, there are princess hats. We have our awesome cups that we have Carla Harold made us, and they have conversations on them. And we got a little bit of magic going on this morning. So we should be ready for some success today. What do you think?
I think let's use this day. Everybody join in. What have you accomplished this year? It's been a tough year for a lot of people. And the main thing to remember, no accomplishment is too small. Sometimes just getting out of bed, there are some days getting out of bed is an accomplishment. Hey, I got out of bed. That is all I could do today. Fine. Celebrate. So what accomplishment? What is something that you're excited about that you have accomplished or are accomplishing this year? Now, I don't know if you know how to do this, but if you will check in the comments, you can just type in, and that is how you will join in the conversation. But we use a platform called StreamYard. Now, sometimes StreamYard will not be able to show us your name coming from Facebook. So if we happen to notice that we see you are a Facebook user, if you would like us to know who you are, please go to streamyard.com/Facebook and click accept. That will allow Facebook to give your information to StreamYard so that we can see who you are and speak to you by name. You don't have to share your name, but it sure does make a conversation a little bit more personal, doesn't it? Sheri, how has your year been?
Our year's been crazy, right? Actually, it's been a year and a half, right? I actually think this year has been a lot more stable for most people, even though we still are in a pandemic. I've learned to pivot and take things online and do different things like Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn. So it's just been a different normal. So I think this year has been a lot better than last year. And it's not that last year was bad. It was we didn't know what to expect. So I think as we've came into this year, we've learned that we have to pivot, we have to make changes. And like you, I think you've talked about before, even if they're little small accomplishments of getting you from here to there, right? To getting you on that path so that you're getting where you want to be. That's really, really important. So this year's been a little bit more consistent than last year for me. So I don't know about you. How about you?
It's been a year of putting a lot of things in place. Things that aren't quite finished but are moving forward. I know that last year when all of a sudden we had like an overnight change. This year it was kind of okay, now we know how it's going. How can I work with it? And so I've had several opportunities come up that are in the works, not finalized yet, but that moving forward, I think that's very important, is that moving forward. And sometimes moving forward means baby steps.
It does. It definitely does. And last year, I think there was a lot of baby steps we all had to take. But like today, we are celebrating 1 year of doing conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn. But then when I go and look at a lot of accomplishments this last year, I'm going, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for a year. I've been going, having things online for a year, masterminds for a year. I've been doing this for a year. And then all of a sudden I'm like, and this is working. I don't know about you, but a lot of good things happen out of it, right? Now we can Zoom people. We can talk to people. Not that we didn't do it from other states, but we can in our office meet 3 people in the time it was taking me to meet 1 or 2 because we meet in person. So a lot of that stuff has just changed.
I think that has made a big difference. Look at the fact that we don't have to have all that travel time now. I can go. Before we started this, I ended one meeting with someone, say, all right, guys, got to go. Thank you. It's been a great meeting. Popped right into here. We could just bounce. Then we have the problem. Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we resting? Are we taking a breather in between?
I think that's what another thing that taught me this last year, right, is that we had to learn to slow down and rest more, except for maybe now some of us have taken on more busy. And I think making sure that you're not busy. So, but I want to welcome. We have Roland on, but you need to, what is it? Okay for StreamYard to see you.
So is that Roland who's telling us that, is that Roland then who is telling us that fishing jumpstarts the imagination?
Yes, he is a writer, and he actually, I think, put an article in there.
Oh, nice. Yes, I like that fishing. That's getting away, getting by yourself, letting your mind just go. Now, a big thing I see, fishing. Okay, if I were fishing, I could have my fishing pole there. I realize it's relaxing, but I could have my little notebook with me, and then I could take notes as the things hit me. Problem is, they hit me in the shower. That's when I'm finally just letting my mind go. And now all these different ideas and thoughts and, oh, why didn't I? And I should have, and I could have. Those all happen in the shower. And it's hard to take notes in the shower.
Google, I need for you to take some notes. Google, listen to me in the shower. I'm not singing. I'm giving great nuggets.
I hadn't thought of that. I will. Okay. Google, come on into the shower with me. All right.
Oh my gosh. And now I have Google
and now it started. I was just
he said, here's some results from the web. And I was like, I don't have Google in my house because my husband says it will have no privacy. Yes, I do. It's right here.
It's right there.
And I just looked at turned upside down, but it heard me when I said, hey, Google. He said, yeah, what do you want? Here's some results. Results for what? The other day we were barely talking about dogs, and all of a sudden all this dog stuff popped up on my phone, and I'm like, I don't even understand. But yeah, those small accomplishments that we know that we can make and not be overly busy would have been something you learned. And I call that an accomplishment. Okay, you know what I seen last year, TerryAnn?
What'd you see?
Kids playing outside, neighbors getting out and going for walks. I've seen more people outside this last year. And what I'm hoping is that keeps snowballing, right? That we keep doing that we realize that we need the vitamin D, and that we realize that kids can bikes. There was no bikes at stores this last year. I don't know if you know that.
I know.
And nobody could find bikes and people are out camping. Now, when you go camping to get away from everybody, everybody's with you though. So I'm not sure how much the getting away works, right? But yeah, so there's camping, there's fishing. We can even go out and go fishing. So I've seen that people have stopped and, smelled the roses more along the way, which is a great accomplishment. TerryAnn, you give your mind some time to refocus, to breathe, to think. And you know what? When we go through these peaks and valleys in our life, that's when we become more creative. So I've seen a lot of people become creative to stay in business. Somebody was saying, well, they're a travel agent and their business has been really, really bad, which obviously, right? Because travel will open and then it's closing. It's a mess, right? But somebody looked at her and said, your business is you're still in business. So that's an accomplishment, even in that chaos of crap, of when your businesses are struggling. Because I don't know about you, there's a lot of businesses that have shut down. I don't know if you've noticed that, which is so bad. But if you're still open, pat yourself on the back. If you're not thriving, okay, let's think of ways that you can pivot and start thriving and coming up with other solutions. So yeah, there's a lot of accomplishment going on. I know a lot of people have written books this last year. I've been working on my book for about 14 months. I'm finally starting to get it done. And you're like, what the heck? Because I kept getting pivoting and off focus. And then now I just said, I'm getting it done. I'm done. I'm getting it done. And then I got a team together and people to support me and help me, because sometimes that's what you got to do to get something done. So, but little small, like you said, accomplishments. And figuring out how to take notes in the shower could be a big accomplishment for you. Because you do. When you go for a walk, you take a shower, you get away from it all, you go camping, you just get away, you can refocus. So I know people that went to retreats to finish writing their books, like go off to a bed and breakfast by themselves just to write a book, to get away. Because you can focus. I think you used to go to coffee shops. I think you still do, but it was hard during the pandemic, right? Because a couple of times they were shut down.
Right. And now they open. I can still, take the laptop and go find a quiet corner away from everyone in a coffee shop. And that's my time. I do not connect to the internet so that I don't have that disruption. So it's real easy when you're sitting here, especially if, you're working on your book and you've got Word open and you're typing away. And then, there's that little, I don't know about you, but there's that little number that just came up over there. Another email came in. Those little numbers that accumulate at the top of the tab. Oh, I better go check that. And so there's a total distraction. And it's hard to just turn it off. I'm sitting on my computer. Chrome has to be open. So, but if I go to a coffee shop, I tell my mind, I'm not connected to the internet. You can't open up the internet. So work on this. So whatever it takes to make you move forward. For some people, what I just described, well, that's too far out. You don't have to do that. So whatever works for you, and that's the main thing there. And what do you need to do to take your baby steps to start to move forward?
So that's what we want to ask you is, what kind of accomplishments have you had this last year? So if anybody in the audience wants to chime in, we would love to hear some of your great accomplishments. Because it's been a year. Has it been a year of crazy, or has it been a year of success? Has it been a year of, what is it called, depression, or has it been a year of finding our blessings, right? A lot of it's perspective of how we choose to look at it. And some of it is, oh my gosh, I'm depressed. Bad year. But then you go back and go, okay, but where can we find those small nuggets and accomplishments to turn it back around? So that's really important to do. Really, really important to do along your little, as you're skipping down the yellow brick road, right? If you live in Kansas City, that's what we do. Ha, ha, ha. But as you're skipping down your journey in life, right? And remember that you're a princess, TerryAnn.
That's right. We're princesses.
And TerryAnn, at times, one of her biggest accomplishments, I know, is to go get her princess crown. Why do you do that, TerryAnn?
I put on the princess crown sometimes, and my husband will even tell me, I think you need to go put it on. I put on the crown, and there's just a whole different attitude to it. I mean, here, as this 62-year-old woman is putting on this plastic crown.
Shh,
Well, the
don't be
first thing
telling
it
people
does,
your age.
you know what? I learned long ago, I may as well not lie about my age, because if I tried to lie, my kids always piped in with, oh, no, you're not, Mom. Well, now that they've hit
Anyway, okay,
their
the
age.
62-year-old with the crown on. What's the deal with that? Go ahead.
Anyway, okay, put this plastic crown on. Oh, you can't help but at least smile and giggle a little bit. So when I see my reflection, even if the camera's not on, I can still see my reflection, in the monitor, or I walk around the house and I can see it in a window or a mirror. A little smile comes in because it's silly. But that little smile sometimes is all it takes to start to let some positivity through. And it can, for me, lead to a whole new attitude.
But why is it silly to wear a crown, right? Back when we were 5, we would
That's right.
purposely wear a crown. One of my daughters, you never could get a crown on her if you paid her today. But she had a whole collection. And I swear she wore crowns till she was 7 or 8. I don't know what, but she wanted to go to school in crowns. I had to make her leave her crown in the car, and she could have it after. She would go to the grocery store in the crown. She would, and she had a collection of crowns. And I don't know what it was about crowns, but she was really into crowns. And I have this coolest mirror that I've kept from when she was little. And it's a mirror that you look in, and above it, I need to show it to you sometime, TerryAnn. The lady has a crown on. So when you look in the mirror, you have a crown, because the mirror makes you have a crown. But I think that we forget that you should have a crown. Why are you not unique and wonderfully made? I heard there's somebody that said that. Who said that you're unique and wonderfully made? I think it was somebody named God. Really? So maybe you should wear your crown, wear it with pride, feel accomplished, right? And celebrate your small success in every day. And sometimes just put your crown on so you can say, did I do that? I know my friend Pam's not on here, but she would be that. Do you want me to do it again? Did I do that? Because we forget. Did I do that? Would you like me to do it again? So, I mean, why did we do that when we were little? And now when we're older, oh, that's what she'll say. She'll say, see what I did? Did you see it? Did you see it? But why do we not stop and say, did you see what I did? Did you see it? Did you see it? Even if it means saying that to yourself, right? And what'd you say? Sometimes it's like, I couldn't get out of bed, but I did it. I couldn't go for a walk, but I went for half of a walk. I couldn't, whatever that is, right? But I did it. I mean, when I learned to public speak, right, TerryAnn, since we're both in Toastmasters, I will tell you when I learned to public speak, you're going to think it was a huge accomplishment, TerryAnn. Okay, I don't know about you, but I was scared of public speaking. So I used to public speak. Kim Myers would tell you this, like this. And I'd be shaking and holding my notes, but I could do it. But then don't worry, I got better. I would memorize, and then I could do my presentation. And I'd know it from word for word for word, TerryAnn. And then one time I gave a speech and I forgot it. So I stood there and I stood there. And by the way, I stood there because I didn't know what my speech was. But that's a lie, TerryAnn. I knew the gist of it. So the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes of my presentation, when I finally just decided to talk about what I knew I was trying to talk about and just use whatever words came to my brain versus the ones I memorized, I figured out how to public speak. And it was such a great accomplishment that I called Gerald. And I said, Gerald, I know how to public speak. He goes, okay, you've been doing this for a minute. What do you mean? I said, I fell on my face. I made a fool of myself and I picked myself back up and I learned that I could just speak without notes, even if I don't remember, as long as I knew the gist of what I was trying to say. And he goes, didn't I tell you that way back in the starting? Yeah, you did, but I did it, right? I took the training wheels off, TerryAnn. right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a small accomplishment. But when have you took your training wheels off in something and said, I can do it? Like
Mm-hmm.
right now, I literally, sorry, but I'm on fire about this, TerryAnn. I literally can see my book is coming together. I've been trying 14 months, not really though, because you work for a while, then you get distracted, then you got to help clients, and all of a sudden I went and I got a gazelle and I got a team and I see it coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see it's going to happen. So that could be a huge accomplishment when you start seeing that you can do it and that can
Mm-hmm.
happen. So go put on your crown and go do your happy dance in the living room, right? And go skipping down the yellow brick road. Even if you don't live in Kansas, if you keep doing it in another state, you might get lucky and come to the best state ever, Kansas. Oh, TerryAnn's going to say Missouri. Oh, man, you can't agree on anything. I say coffee. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say tea. But you know what? When you talk about accomplishment, look at us when we started. This is episode 52, which means we have been doing this now for 1 full year. Those first few, part of me wants to say, go back and watch the first ones and then watch us now. I do hope that you'll see improvement. I know that I feel much more confidence than I now at 52 episode than I did at episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've never been afraid of public speaking. That wasn't an issue. It was that camera right there.
Is there a
Now
camera,
I'm looking
TerryAnn?
at me. Do what?
There's a camera?
Shh.
I would have never showed up. You would have just told me.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody was taking
I do
me.
hope, and that's where we learned, and I'm glad we did it. We did it scared. We were both scared and thought, but let's step out. What can we do but fall on our face and learn? We'll either learn it's time to get up and walk away, or it's time to get up and keep moving. And I think, probably a few times fell on our face, but we got up and we kept on moving forward. And I think that's what's important. Get up, move forward. Just like a little baby who tries to stand up and falls flat on their butt. They get up and they try and they try and they try again until they're walking and then running to you. And the crown too reminds me of childlike, like my teddy bears. Be childlike. Be open to learning and to moving forward and to saying, well, gosh, I'm scared, but I want to get on that teeter-totter. I want to get on that monkey bar. Let me try it.
And all you need is a little magic. So if you have a wand, it'll even be maybe a little helpful.
Right.
Helpfuler. Did you hear my bad word?
Helpfuler. I like that. Helpfuler.
Don't tell nobody. I hope you weren't recording me saying a word that didn't make sense. Helpfuler. My new English dictionary. But no, the point is, I feel when we did conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn, we had a gist of what we were trying to do. Maybe sometimes we didn't know. TerryAnn would be like, we don't have it all figured out, Sheri. And I go, I know, but let's just do it. And she'd go, yeah, but we need to at least have, right? And I'm all for a plan, but sometimes I'm just do it. And secret, TerryAnn and I knew each other. We knew of each other. We sort of liked each other, but we just weren't friends. And we've never, ever definitely worked on a project together. So trying to figure out how to do the dance together, except for TerryAnn and I don't know, we play off each other pretty well, I think. But at the very first of our conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn, a couple of times we'd go on there, and then afterwards we'd go, well, how did it go? And then we'd go, well, you sort of maybe cut me off here, or I wanted to say this, or I thought we were going to go this way, and we ended up that way. So we had to figure out that dance too, didn't we, TerryAnn? Mm-hmm. And like I said, luckily we love and respect each other enough that we went, okay, well, we learned. But that would be a great challenge. But I wish you wouldn't have told our audience to do it. We should have just done it. They go back and watch the first couple episodes. Oh no, can I hide? Should we take them down? Should we take them off our YouTube channels now? Shh, don't tell them.
Let them see how much we've grown.
On YouTube channels, you could go back and watch our first couple episodes. Yeah, you could. And we should put both of our YouTube channels down below, because if you're not following both of us on YouTube, you should be following us both, because we are the most phenomenal princess coaches ever. We decided that.
Hey, I want to say now, you see our little crowns here. I want to tell you, go get yourself a set of crowns. I got 6 of these. They're little hair clips. 6 of these for $1.99 in the party section at Hobby Lobby.
And then you told me to go do it.
So go get yourself this set of 6 crowns. Put your crown on, put it on your coworkers, your kids, whatever, and say, we are going to act like royalty today.
And then there's some right next door. They're right next to those crowned in the party section.
Oh, yes, these were right there. I think they were like, what? I got 12.
$1.99 for I don't know how many.
Too. 6 or 12. So come on, have yourself a party, put on your crown.
Go splurge on your $4. Go get it. Oh, but then you got to pay tax. So there you go. Celebrate.
You know, something else, when I first started using the crown analogy, I looked up some royalty information. Did you know that you cannot speak to the Queen or any of the royal family without permission? So I started using that, saying, okay, for example, the way that in what I coach around, lies, negative self-talk, you don't have permission to talk to me. It's a silly way to take control. And remember, I'm royal.
So can I take that a little bit further? You know what I just heard you say?
What'd you hear?
If you won't take advice from somebody, why do you take criticism from that person? Which it should not be criticism anyway. What should it be? You would call it more feedback. But I mean, people that are going to give you good advice are sometimes going to come in love, help you see where maybe you could improve, right? But they're not going to try to change you or put you down. They're just going to, how would you word that better? You get what I'm saying, though. If we won't take criticism, if you won't take advice, don't take criticism from
it. Yeah. If I'm not going to come to you and say, and ask what you want me to do, give me some advice on this, then you know what? Your negativity, I'm not taking that either.
Because you get to choose as a
choosing
princess, king, whatever you want to call yourself.
So who are you giving permission to talk to you? So when you're working towards that accomplishment and someone's, oh gosh, what do you think? Sheri, what do you mean you're writing a book? Somebody comes at you like that. Don't let them. Hey, I have my crown on. You don't have permission to speak to me. So go away. Don't take it. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but once you do it the first time, feel kind of bad. Then you come the second time, but just like learning to ride that bike and eventually taking up those training wheels, it gets easier and easier and easier the more that you do it.
Yep. And that was part of what's been holding me back, even writing my book, was mindset of, who am I to write the book? And the funny thing is, that's my introduction. Who am I to write this book? And then we go right into mindset. What's holding me back? That's my first chapter of my book. So there's your little sneak preview. But more importantly, if it's going to mess you up, who am I, right? So to look for those supportive people to help you get to your accomplishment. And next week, we are going to talk about, I'll let TerryAnn tell you.
Why is this accomplishment important to you? So finding your why. Is it just because, oh, well, that would be nice to do? What is if you dig deep down, why? Why is this important to you? Why are you working on this? So next week, finding your why.
So we will see you next week. Go make it a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for celebrating with us.